The Mastering Local Marketing podcast helps local small business owners like you understand what it takes to successfully market your business and drive new customers through your doors. We provide actionable insights, interview leading experts and business owners in various industries, as well as provide tips and tricks we've uncovered over the last 25 years in the field. Whether you're starting your business or you've been at it for decades, let us provide you with the education and resources you need to grow your customer base. It's time to start mastering your local marketing. Here's your host, Matt Hanson.
You know, I really like what my competitor does, and I want to take all their ideas and secretly put them into my business. Is that okay?
It's fine, as long as you do it ethically.
Ethically? Why'd you have to bring that into it?
I got the background of being in the College of Business and everything else. We got to talk ethics, right? But let's. I think today we're gonna talk a little bit about how you can ethically go out there and steal some of the ideas from your competitors and really understand what they're doing. So
he's Matt Hanson. You're listening on the radio or watching on TV, or you get us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, any of that. This is the Mastering Local Marketing podcast. He's been in the game for 30 years. I've been in the game on the other side, selling ads and so forth for quite some time on both my radio and my TV stuff. So, it's odd that you brought this up, because I have been looking at not so much competitors. Very few people stream local sports like we do, but I have been looking at some people that we have talking to in other states. There's only like 4 or 5 of us really, and I don't want to come out and say, hey, I just want to copy what you're doing, but I want to copy what they're doing.
Yeah. And
sometimes I don't even know how did they come up with this and so forth. So you're gonna show us how to do that today ethically.
Yeah. No, I just got back from New Orleans last night, and I sat down with 28 other groups of individuals, and we were kind of sharing ideas of what we do in our businesses. And the whole premise behind why we went down there together is to learn from each other and to help each other, because we're in different parts of the country. And I started thinking, I'm like, oh, this would be a really good podcast, and how you work or how you start to learn from others. And a lot of things that I've done in the past, I will teach individuals that marketing, you can borrow ideas from others. There's a lot of historical campaigns and things that have been done that aren't direct knockoffs, but that you can tell they've been influenced. And one of the things that I used to teach with my students was, if you're building some kind of campaign, go out there and find up to 3 different campaigns that you absolutely adore, you love, right? And take them and start to dissect what they are, all the different pieces to them, and start thinking about your own reasons for it, why you enjoy it, why it's one of your favorite campaigns, and how it could be implemented in future efforts of whatever you're working on. So we would take 3 different campaigns, and I would say, okay, now mesh them together into one new campaign using bits and pieces of each of the other campaigns. And we would come up with some great campaigns by doing that, right? So we would pull from some campaign out in Europe, and we would pull some campaign that ran 20 years ago in the United States, and something that was current, and we would just take all these bits and pieces and put them together, and we'd create something new. And it was just kind of an interesting way to do that. I used to serve on the March of Dimes board here in Northwest Indiana, and I saw this one ad one time where it was somebody had used crayon to write on the print ad, and I thought that was really kind of a unique way. It looked like a child had gotten a hold of the print ad or the magazine and was writing on it. So we used to do this thing. It was the March of Dimes chef event, and it was obviously to help children. So we had 2 chefs. This was in the newspaper of all places as well. We had 2 chefs in black and white. The newspaper was black and white, but it was a color ad, so it was a paid-for ad. And the chefs were kind of standing there with their hands on the table, and then we created 2 stick figures that connected them. So it looked like some kid had written on the newspaper in crayon, and we then collected, we put more stick figures heading off the page. And the idea was that we wanted people to notice it because it was so strange, and that's why I noticed it from somebody else doing it. But we did it in the newspaper, and it was funny because we approached our local, the Times, our local newspaper, and we said, can we do this? And they said, yeah, sure, that would be great. We just, it's a color ad at that point. So everything else looked like a normal newspaper ad or newspaper article, except for the fact that we had the little stick figures in various colors and whatever of crayon going across. So it made people read the article and want to understand why are these stick figures and in crayon going across there. Just took from an idea from another ad, implemented it in a new setting, and off we went. So that's kind of what we're talking about today is how you can go out there and you can look at what your competitors are doing, because there are so many things that you can pull from them, that either to learn more about your competitors, learn what works with your competitors, or things that you can implement on your next campaigns.
So before we go into that, I got a question about seeing your competitor. Now with all the internet out there, I mean, if you're HVAC here in Hammond, Indiana, you can look at what the HVAC man or woman is doing in Lincoln, Nebraska, pretty easily. So when you say look at your competitor, you're not saying just look at the person down the street. You're looking at other people that are similar to you anywhere. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, you can go most people jump over to Meta immediately when they start talking about digital ads and things like that. And the really interesting part is you can go to Meta, you can go to Facebook, right? And you can look at what other ads people are running, right? So the ads that your competitors are currently running, you put anybody's name in there and you can look at the ads that they're running. So you start to understand, okay, what's the angle? What's the positioning? Is it imagery? Is it video? What's the offer? You can literally see everything that's running out there. And, for those of you listening at home, I'm actually going to put that link directly into the show notes. So if you need to go look at what your competitors are doing, it's out there, right? You just put it in there. So if you do a search and your competitor doesn't pop up, that's also going to tell you they're not running ads. So that's a good thing for you, obviously, but you'll also notice they may be running 10 different ads out there that you didn't even realize they were doing. So you get a lot of insight. You get to start seeing what their positioning is, what are their offers, are they using imagery, are they using video, what are their call to actions, where are they sending people, right? There's all this data that's out there from one simple tool that's free and available to everybody, because Meta wants to make sure that you get the full transparency, right? And so they don't get in trouble with the government and all those other fun things. But there's this whole transparency part of it that most people don't even know is out there, right? So go use it and start to pull up different companies. The other thing is, if you have certain brands that are out there that you absolutely love, you can go to the research and really see what else they're running out there. So if you're an Apple fan, or you're a Sony fan, or you're Chicago Bears fan, right? You can go out there and do a search and you can see what kind of ads are running right now. And, maybe something you see will actually influence you as to what you want to do in the future. But if you're looking at the competitor side, you'll know exactly the messaging that they're putting out there.
So how do you basically reverse engineer what they're doing?
So it'll pull up exactly the ad that's being served, right? And the nice part about that is you look at it from the standpoint of, we all have a million different promotions that we can put out there and messaging that we can put out there. Are they selling something? Are they giving certain offers? Are they offering free shipping? Are they promoting an event, right? Like all of these different things that are going on, it will tip you off as to what their current messaging is. Or it'll go back in time. You'll actually see ones that have already stopped running. So with doing that, you'll start to see like their whole plan as they go through this. But wouldn't you rather have more information on your competitors or on the brands that you absolutely love and how they're building their ads than literally sitting there and trying to find them on Google or one of the other search engines? It's a free tool. Go out there and use it, and just use it to start to dissect what they're doing. It's a great tool.
So, all right, it sounds kind of odd. You almost don't want to put like your Steve at Blue HVAC and sign up for somebody else's email tree, but you could, if you have a Gmail or something, you could do that. But I mean, I've done this.
Yep.
I've signed up for other people's email trees to see what they were sending out.
Yep.
Do you recommend that or not?
You better be on every single one of your competitors' mailing list. Go out there and create an email. My name is Matt Hanson. It could be, Ryan Johnson at, whatever, right? Go create an email for your promotional stuff. Start signing up for this. Start to understand what the messaging is coming back. Not to mention, but, Katie locally, when she came on, the first thing I did was go to sign up for her email, and she knew it exactly as I signed up for it, right? But I now get the emails. I can see what she's sending out. I can do that for anyone that I want to go out there, right? And there's multiple podcasts that I can go out there and sign up for their emails. There's multiple agencies out there I can sign up for emails. There's multiple universities I can get all of their emails. And you start to create kind of this file of understanding what are they promoting again? Is there a certain cadence? Are they sending it out, every week, every month, every other month? What is it that they're doing? But you really start to define, you can create this 360-degree view of what their messaging is, so you understand what your competitors are doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, 90%, if not more, of local businesses aren't doing this with their competitors. They're not keeping track of that. They're not learning from it. And the ones that you're chasing after, they do this on a regular basis. They have their own email account that they sign up for all of these things, that it drops in, and they go into it for inspiration, and they go into it for information on what their competitors are doing. We all do this that are in marketing. So if you're not doing this, create an email account, make sure it goes to your phone or whatever, but track what's going on, because you're going to learn so much more about your competitors, and you'll be able to head some things off before they get too big.
Does it matter if you track their landing pages?
Their landing pages is huge, right? So go. One of my favorite things is to go out there and search for something. And so, for example, I had a financial client a while back, and I was like, okay, well, let's see I'll go to Google and I search something, and I started seeing ads, and I started clicking on the ads. I took the ad, and I knew exactly what the ad said. I clicked on it, went over to the landing page. I saved the landing page, analyzed the landing page. I signed up on the landing page for whatever information they were sending me. Now I have the email structure that's coming out of it, right? So now I'm putting all of this into a map to understand exactly what their advertising campaign looks like. Then I'd go back and do it again to the next advertiser and the next advertiser. So what you start to see is a lot of similarities and best practices. The other thing with landing pages is somebody with a very small budget is not going to create a great landing page. They're probably going to send them to a web page, their homepage, whatever it may be. But if you go out there and you look at bigger companies, they have put countless effort and time into their landing pages, and they're converting, which is why they're running them. So they've done all the work for you. You don't have to go out there and figure out what does a good landing page look like. All you have to do is literally look at the big brands, copy them to your information, but the layout, the structure, all of it, and implement it, and you're going to be ahead of the game, because I guarantee you, again, competitors aren't doing it.
Well, you're also talking about not just what they put up, but when they put it up. I mean, we talk a lot about, I've got, a dozen hosts here, and I tell them, don't concentrate so much on what you're saying, and did I say that? Concentrate on trying to establish a rhythm. Mm-hmm. And in marketing, as far as I can see, and you're much more of an expert, you got to have a rhythm to it. But you can't just come up with a rhythm. Sometimes you got to look at other people's rhythm.
Yeah.
And how do you do that?
Yeah, you got to get inspiration. I mean, everyone always says, oh, you've got to be creative to be in marketing. And I say, yeah, there's something to that. But, in the same sense, look at what other people are doing. If they're making money off of these things, if you're seeing their ads over and over and over again, there's a reason, right?
Seasonal, especially, you can look at these other folks and see when they're doing it.
Right.
So if it's a seasonal thing, they're way ahead of it.
Right.
Like right now is June.
We're going into Father's Day. You're seeing a ton of it. So
yes.
I mean, if you go out there and start looking for, just type up Father's Day gifts on Google, all of a sudden you'll see all of these ads pop up, right? And then from there, you take those individuals, you go back over to Facebook and look at the ads that they're running and start to dissect their image, their video, right? So now you not only have paid search, you have image ads, you have video ads, You have the landing pages they're sending to. You have the email structure that they're doing. You have all of this information, and they're just giving it to you, right? That's the one negative of advertising, is the fact that once we start paying for it to go out there, everyone can see it, right? But if you've been seeing the same ad for months and months and months, they're making a ton of money off of that. As marketers, we stop running ads as soon as they don't make us $1, right? So if you're seeing it and you continue to see it, you know it's legit. So look at it, understand it. Why is it working? Why is it not working, right? And start to just learn from it. It is an MBA just by dissecting people's advertising.
So are you going too far? I mean, you sign up for somebody's email list. You look at their landing pages. You kind of almost map out their seasonal, all right, they're going to start coming out with their fall stuff pretty soon, right? And you see, is it going too far to join their loyalty or rewards program?
No. I mean, you want to get as much information as you possibly can. If they make it easy to join their loyalty or rewards program, right? Great. And I can think of a few in our house that we kind of joke about that we signed up for, and we get emails, and we get the birthday or the anniversary emails that come in and those types of things. But the more information you have on your competitors, the better off you're going to be, because you're always one step ahead of the game because you know what they're doing. Those that aren't doing it are always left wondering, well, I wonder wonder what they're doing over here. I wonder what the conversation, the messaging is. If you've got it all automated and you set it all up, you'll just keep getting information fed to you, and it's a great process.
Ultimately, this one's actually kind of easy. You see the reviews. Everybody has reviews in different places, but mostly Google. And can you actually learn anything from other people's reviews that isn't your review?
Yeah. The biggest thing with that is that it's twofold, right? So if they have 100 or if they have 1,000 reviews or even more, you're going to see patterns in there, right? So this week when I was down in New Orleans, we were putting all of these things up there from all of these different companies. And we started to establish patterns. And that's what we're looking for in reviews, are patterns. Things that your target audience is looking for. Things that your competitor does bad. And you need to look at that and go, okay, if they're doing something bad, can I do it better? If they're doing something good, can I compete? Or do they own that already? Do they own that positioning? Should we move past that? So look at a review, start to learn good and bad, and see, is there, in marketing, I don't want to get too academic here, but we talk about SWOT analysis, which is strengths and weaknesses. Those are internal, and opportunities and threats are external. We're looking for opportunities in the other reviews. Like, is there something they can't offer that we can offer? Great. Let's jump on that, right? Are there certain weaknesses that we have that they do better? Let's stay away from those things, right? So there's all of these ways to look at it, but overall, reviews are really a good way to learn about where you are, where they are, and what you can capitalize on.
I guess the biggest part that I'm hearing from you is, first of all, I always kind of felt like I was doing something I shouldn't be doing by signing up for someone else's email, or spending too much time on looking at what they're doing. In other words, I always thought, well, I still think this. I just need to do what we do, and we need to do it well. Let's not worry about what anybody else is doing. But of late, since we're doing our stuff well, how can I tweak it a little bit? And I find myself looking at other people, but not to the depth of what you're talking about. So if I could summarize it, it's more of an attitude. It's not just okay, it's necessary to look at what your competition is doing.
Yes. If you aren't, they're doing it to you. I promise you on that. Any smart marketer that's out there is already doing this. And if you want to elevate your game, which is why you're listening in the first place, do this. Just take one of these and start to do it, right? If it's just looking at reviews from your competitor, great. If it's signing up for their email list, it's one more step closer to gathering the relevant information that you need to be better. So I realize that not everyone's going to do this, and everyone's like, oh, it sounds like a lot of time and effort. hire an intern, get an FU, somebody that can kind of dive into those reviews and start to identify patterns or something like that. But, we've been doing this for years. 20, 30 years we've been dissecting things, and that's just the way that you're going to learn about where you can compete.
He's Matt Hanson. I'm Jed. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at HERO.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.